I want your thoughts on what a friend of ours said about being lonely, and he brought it up in front of other black men, um, and he was very vulnerable. And what I liked about the exchange was that there was no diving into, hey, tell me more about that, or why do you feel lonely? It was he expressed it, we accepted it. Some of us kind of moved on, and you
Mm,
could tell he was benefited by it. Just the fact that he was able to say, "Hey, I've got these feelings of loneliness," and I need to go back to the acceptance. Everyone, to a man on the phone, accepted and validated that feeling. Like that's a
mm,
normal thing to do. And in just two or three statements, I think we took this brother from lonely to being okay with the loneliness without
mm,
a big counseling session. And
mhm,
so what I like, I want to start offering my friends is that safety of, if you just say it, that might be it.
hmm, mm,
That might what if you can just get it out and say, "Hey, I'm feeling this way," or I something happened in my life and now I'm feeling this way. We don't have to dive into it, but just saying it. I want to be that person where you're comfortable with just saying it, and that could be what gets you over it. Just that, putting it out there, letting it sit on the table for what it is, and we all
mhm.
see it and we all acknowledge it, right? And I accept you for having that, and then we can move on. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think probably the way it was received was heartfelt, because probably I would dare say most of the men in that group have felt the same way. It's a part of recognition of that emotion that connects with us in some way. And I know that group. It's a very dynamic group, and it's a very safe group. There's a lot of
Hmm.
emotional intelligence in that group,
Hmm. Hmm.
and so I think if you create the conditions where men feel safe to be vulnerable, then we'll actually talk. But it's difficult. You have to have a certain amount of bravery in order to admit something like that,
Yeah.
and be willing to take the arrows if guys aren't receptive. But I guess there's a feel thing. I mean, you wouldn't have said that if you didn't feel comfortable saying that and
Right.
expressing
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And this actually, thinking about, I sent you a clip this week about this guy talking about our grind and then talking about just performance based relationships, and just how there are so many um, relationships where we feel like we have to perform. Like, why didn't this guy feel like he could go to his wife with this? Is it because he had to perform, or feel as though he would be judged in some kind of way? And I think about the beauty of those relationships that we have with other men, because can you think of another relationship in your life where you did not feel like you had to perform?
Ooh. Ooh. Now you're getting to the essence of being a man. Think of a relationship where you did not have to perform.
Where you felt like you did not have to perform in
Ooh.
all, to be accepted, to be loved, to be valued, where you just did not have, it didn't matter what you did,
Yeah.
that you were going to be loved and accepted for who you are as a man, as an
I
individual.
would say it started with my uncles, and then my
Mm,
father grew into that role, but we had to get there. I
mm.
always felt like I was trying to impress my father, and I think that's natural. I think that's okay.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, very
but
natural.
I'd say now it's just guy friends. It's just guy,
Mhm,
and the really close ones, because
mhm,
only, I'm gonna say it, only another man that has walked as I have walked can hear me be vulnerable and know I'm still strong,
mm, mhm,
that I can still
mhm.
perform.
Yeah. Mm,
And I think that's what he was seeking out, this individual, that he was seeking out that group where he could say it and you not question, don't question my manhood when I say this. I
Mhm.
think that's what a good counselor can do, right?
Absolutely.
They're professional in that. But my manhood is everything to me. I spent 48 years perfecting this manhood. Don't question it. Don't question it. Don't question it.
Right, right. Wow. I mean, I think this also speaks to mental health, and the fact that we bottle so much inside, and over time, it takes a toll on
Mhm.
us emotionally, physically. There are statistics that talk about how people that are isolated don't live as long as people that are in community. And so this underscores the need for us to for men, particularly Black men, because we have a shared experience in this country that no other group knows.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
for us to be a support system for each other is so important. I mean, there are various ways to get it out, but like you said, just get it out.
Just get it
But
out.
if you're blessed to have friends, I mean, like that you can get down with and talk to and be vulnerable with, that's great. But if you don't, man, there are counselors, there are therapists that you can talk to that will do
Yeah.
the same thing, and I highly recommend that.
And some men
Anybody.
are blessed to have a partner that can do that they can do that with. So
Mm,
I don't mean to at all put all women in a category.
absolutely.
There's some wives out there that are holding it down and it can hold those two thoughts together and can empathize. And so what I keep telling people is find that person in your life. If it's
Mm.
not your partner, if it's not your friends, they're people that you can pay to hear these thoughts. They are called counselors and they're very good at it. They're very good at it. But
Absolutely.
we cannot keep bottling it up. We can't. We can't.
No,
Figure it out.
no. And I'm on this kick where, I mean, one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast is that we see the need for Black men to take ownership of their health, and our health statistics are awful. And
Mhm.
we have the lowest life, well, actually, second lowest life expectancy in this country. I just I did some research and realized that Native Americans, and Alaskan natives have the lowest life expectancy, but
That is true.
um,
That is
we're
true.
right after them. And why is that? And let's unpack that a little bit. And we bear a lot of responsibility as men in general. We are usually the breadwinners. We have a lot of financial responsibilities that we take on. We aren't expected to ask for help or let people see us sweat. It really takes a toll. I talk about how just emotionally, I think a lot of us aren't developed because we don't understand how to express our emotions. The way we express them is usually through anger, but it's
Mhm.
not like I'm sad or I'm lonely. And so it comes out and it expresses in different ways, which get misinterpreted a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so we can, expand our emotional vocabulary and language where we can be free to express these things and feel safe. I think that will move the needle of life expectancy, because that's part of our weathering, if you will, is
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
emotional baggage and trauma that we're carrying that we don't know how to deal, we don't know how to process.
Keep it in bite-size chunks for Black men that have never done anything like this, that have never opened up anything. I'm not asking
Mm,
you to sit on the couch and bear all. I'm asking you to take one thing in your life that's heavy, and admit to it and put it on the table
mm,
with someone in your life. Uh, just just say it. And that's why I thought it was so beautiful about how we opened this segment with a story. All he did was say it. We did not He did not get a lecture on where loneliness comes from and how to get out of it. No one gave him any advice, any counsel. He just said it. We accepted it. We all nodded and said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I know." And we moved on. And I think it's powerful. I think it's
it is
powerful.
powerful. They say that if you verbalize something,
Yeah.
if you say it, you lessen its power over you. Just to put it out there, so that is powerful. That he just said that. That is in a way a release. That he was able to do. So yeah, very powerful, very good message. Don't be afraid to speak out, and tell someone that you can trust that you're hurting. It will do a lot for your mental and physical good.